agree with what I'm saying. Stop blaming Israel. Why? Because Israel does not exist. Israel is not a thing. Israel is not an, an entity, a thinking, breathing, fighting, genocidal, crazy supremacist. It's none of those things. Israel doesn't exist. You know, it's just foolish. Israel wasn't the ones doing the auto emancipation pamphlet. Israel wasn't the World Zionist Conference. You know, it's not Israel that's consistently killing children and violating, doing all these war crimes. By the way, have you guys noticed Ian Carroll? Not as much lately. Not sure what happened to good old IC, but my Facebook feed used to be full of his shit every day, and last week maybe it seems like there's less. I don't know if they're just not sharing as much or if he hasn't posted as much. But I would be surprised. Ian Carroll reminds me of Billy Carson. Ian Carroll, Billy Carson. Ian Carroll, Billy Carson. They're very similar. They both have that car in their name. But Billy Carson was a guy who, when he started showing up, I just kept asking, like, who the fuck is this guy? Where the fuck did this guy just suddenly come out of nowhere? This is a black man in the United States. Like, for a black man to reach some sort of levels like that, he must have been allowed to, because black guys don't get that kind of, that kind of advantage in this society. I mean, think of one. Think of, outside of your Diddies and whatnot, who, were put in their position to be the sacrifice when the time came. Hey, my man, what'd it look like?
I set an alarm for 11, so turn that off. I didn't know you were going to come down for this video.
It's all good. Shh. What do you want?
Can you check the time it is for me, please?
There's a turtle right there. There's a little baby turtle. Oh man, it's 10:45. No, 9:36. Don't. Kids have to wait till 11 to start playing on the screens. Gotta limit it somehow. They're pretty good about it too. So where is Billy Carson? Let's see. Billy Carson is an actor, author, and let's see. Billy Carson, How to Manifest Anything with This Ancient Formula, from October 10th, 2025. Previous thing was Mr. Billy Carson's obituary. This is a different guy. Billy Carson unveils Forbidden Knowledge Academy, Empowering Minds, August 8th, 2025. And then there's there are a couple of obituaries from different people named Billy Carson. April 3rd, Billy Carson's net worth, How Rich is CEO of Forbidden Knowledge, Inc. Let's see. Net worth in the millions. He has built a reputation for innovative thinking, business acumen, and long-lasting financial success. He uses every opportunity to motivate fans to become financially buoyant too. The key to making money is to find a need and fill it. So you want to do that, but with your passion. Billy Carson is an American actor, producer, TV podcast host, artist, author, and business guru. He co-founded the United Family of Anomaly Hunters, UFAH. Billy Carson is the CEO of First Class Space Agency. What? Based in Fort Lauderdale. He is one of the best-selling authors in America. Billy Camrick Carson II. Born September 4th, 1971. 53. He's 5'5". Wow. Well, that's a little dude. 5'5", 124 pounds. Jesus. Spouse is Elizabeth Hoekstra. Let's see. What's this white broad look like? Oh, no, she is a halfie, I guess. With nothing but fake. Just fake, 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 fake. All right. According to Impact Wealth and Editorialage, Billy Carson's net worth in 2025 is an estimated $6 million. In a 2022 episode of Forbidden Knowledge, he said, "Every single month I'm spending between $300,000 and $400,000 on cards, whether it's for businesses or whatever. How I manage it is really ingenious, and that's what I want to start teaching people." On cards? What kind of cards? Billy started his first business selling toys at age 7. Of course he did. He also worked as a newspaper boy for the Miami News at age 12, and by 14 he had already started investing in electronics and selling digital car stereos. Come on. At 16 he earned more than his parents and had a marketing company. At the same age he had 2 cars and an apartment. He makes millions as an actor, TV producer, host, artist, author, and entrepreneur. Below is a breakdown of his sources of wealth.
Sweetheart,
Yo,
did you feed Broly?
no. He is a prolific author with a string of best-selling books. The Compendium of the Emerald Tablets. Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. The Epic of Humanity. Billy is a successful actor, host, and producer appearing in movies and TV shows. He is the co-host of Biohack, Your Best Life, and an expert host on Forbidden Knowledge TV. The writer has appeared on various TV channels like History Channel, Discovery Channel, and Gaia TV. As per IMDb page, Billy Carson's movies and TV shows include Code 12, Deep Space, Ancient Civilizations, Chronicles of the Anunnaki, UFOs, Lost Evidence. He's a philanthropist. He receives donations to support his charity work. He has donated over $25,000 to the YMCA. He also provided over $12 million in scholarships for high school athletes. Carson has invested in and founded several companies like Zen Force Media and Pantheon Elite Records. His record label has 5 artists. He is also CEO of First Class Space Agency. The space exploration company works on developing alternative propulsion systems and Zero Point. In 2012, he established Forbidden Knowledge TV. The company had a pre-money valuation of $55 million in 2024. Billy revealed this in a our most recent audit has been completed and our pre-money valuation is $55 million and share prices have gone up again. That's a quote. Who is Billy Carson? Billy Bullshit Carson. Billy Camrick Carson II, born on September 4, 1971 in New York, is a renowned entrepreneur, best-selling author, actor, and TV producer. He was raised in a low-income household in Miami, Florida, and faced financial struggles and bullying at school, because he's so tiny. Billy Carson's credentials include a certificate of science with an emphasis on neuroscience from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT. He attended MIT from 2017 to 2018. So he has a credential, he has a certificate of science obtained in a year? Does MIT do that? I didn't know that. In 2021, Billy Carson's educational status was crowned with a certificate in ancient studies, civilization from Harvard University. So 3 years later, he has another certificate, but this time from Harvard? Gosh, that's amazing. Like, so many of these guys' stories where it's just, wow. Good thing he happened to be have his own businesses, making more money than his parents at 14, huh? So he could pay for Harvard. He is married to Elizabeth Hoekstra, a writer and producer. She has written and produced movies like Avatar and Over Matter with Nikki Shepard. She has written and produced movies like Avatar. This broad wrote Avatar? The duo has kids, but the exact number is unknown. How? How could you possibly have two people in the spotlight and you don't know how many kids they have? What the fuck? Besides being his wife, Elizabeth is Billy's business partner, co-host, and guide. On February 14th, 2025, he posted on Instagram, "Happy birthday, happy Valentine's to my beautiful wife, best friend, and business partner. Thank you for allowing me to share my life with you. I fight for you and fight for me. We got each other. I love you." He lives in California with his family. Aside from having a luxurious house, he has expensive cars, including a 2015 Rolls-Royce Ghost. Billy Carson was built on dedication and determination. Through Forbidden Knowledge, Inc., he uses his experience to help others succeed. As published on briefly.co.za, we just switched to Michelle Lammy? How the fuck did we... Why did that just switch like that? Okay, that's the end of the Billy Carson bio there. So what happened to him? I mean, like 2023, 2024, 2023, Billy Carson was everywhere. Like, he was, on my Instagram and on my Facebook, there would just be video after video of Billy Carson's face real close up like this, and he'd be talking about, Anunnaki and shit like that. Stuff that if you just want views, that's a great thing to talk about. People love to hear other people talk about the Anunnaki. Boy, is it like, people love that shit, man. You want to have a good feed? Make videos about Epstein. Make videos about Trump. Whatever you do, just don't make videos where you're denying the existence of God. Not sure Billy is a bad guy. He may have got people to question their reality. Well, dude, you can't have controlled opposition that sits there and talks about, pink unicorns and shit. Nobody's going to fall for it. Controlled opposition has to tell some truth, has to tell a lot of truth, or at least stuff that you buy as true. It's just like the Bible, right? Just like the Bible's they use historical references, historical places. Like if the Bible took place on planet Milniki, then nobody would buy it, right? That's another planet. What the fuck do we care? Blah, blah. But because it supposedly takes place on Earth, and not just on Earth, in this one little tiny spot of the Earth, people can have that connection to it. Oh, well, if this part's true, if it mentioned, it's like how every comedian or performer will be like, "What's up, Colorado? What's up, Bakersfield? Whatever town they're in," because the people go, "Yeah, he said my town's name, yeah." Because racial and civic pride are the dumbest things in the world, but they have us just full of it. You know, this guy is a multimillionaire. Why isn't he doing it? Especially if it would be like me suddenly getting a bunch of money and then stopping. And then I start talking about some diet shit like, I don't know, what's Trump doing? Oh man, look at what Trump's saying. Oh, I don't like Trump. Like it would be similar to that, right? But you have to ask yourself, like, again, how did they get to that position? If you're in this world even a little bit, then you've experienced it. You've gotten in trouble, you've gotten a block, you've gotten a punishment because you said something that, you didn't even think was wrong. Or you even shared something somebody else had already shared. You just shared a post and somehow you get blocked for it. Not to mention, all of us know who we're not supposed to talk about. Like it's not even like a, I don't care what the conspiracy theory, your level of conspiracy belief, whatever. When asked, what group is not allowed to be talked about, everybody knows that answer. Everything okay? Huh? How do we know, like, licking Mo's ears didn't fuck him up and now we took away his high source? I mean, isn't it weird that somebody would... It reminds me of Ken O'Keefe and how Ken O'Keefe got to the point where I knew who he was. I never consider myself to be, like, at the forefront of knowledge. I'm not the internet sleuth who is cracking codes and getting in the dark web and cracking firewalls and getting secret information and all that kind of shit. If I know it, you know it. If I know it, it's available to anybody to know. It's right. It's obvious, easy information. You can find an article about it. There's no secrets here. Everything is complete transparency. And so for Ken O'Keefe in 2016, he was either 15 or 16. He's doing his World Citizen project tour, and he's going around these college campuses, and he's doing these presentations that are about Israel. I'd like to actually go back and watch them now and see. I wonder if they even exist. Yeah. Yeah. Kenneth O'Keefeth. Keith talking. That's a different Ken O'Keefe. Who the fuck is this Ken O'Keefe? A Brief Philosophy by Ken O'Keefe. Open-Minded Conference, Copenhagen, 10 years ago. Let's see, is this?
You're using cinnamon wrong, and your blood sugar is paying the price. Let me explain.
This guy is fucking funny. Sammy Obeid. I like him.
Bullshit, quite frankly, most of it.
Okay, so yeah.
And
So
while I've made many mistakes in terms of not honoring my obligations to my immediate family, being very focused on the bigger, broader picture without actually taking care of my domestic responsibilities.
listen to that. Listen to how he words that. He tries to make it sound like he's being humble and he's acknowledging his mistakes, but he's saying, because, I've been so dedicated to the thing. But this isn't it. This isn't what I'm talking about. So where did all of the Ken O'Keefe videos go? Oh, here's Ken O'Keefe. Message of love and respect for brother Salim Akbar, Ken O'Keefe, from 14 years ago.
This is Ken O'Keefe from Gaza, unable to come to
Look
Brother
how different he
Salim's
looks.
funeral. I felt a need to at least communicate his
In a
impact
fucking
on me in the
turtleneck.
short time that I knew him. Invited in the aftermath of the attack.
Everything behind him is gone.
Speak at his mosque and meet some of his.
And this is shortly after he
friends,
emerges.
Extended family. I can say in the short time that I knew Salim, I could see the specialness of him, his deep love, his hard work, and the respect that he earned in the community. Of course, I'm, along with everybody else, very sad to see that brother, I will never be able to see brother in this mortal life again.
Wow. Okay, so there's that. Here's a short.
He has ignored the fact that the Palestinians have been treated as subhumans for many decades now. He has ignored the fact that basically he is giving the same rights of self-defense to the aggressor. The aggressor, when he
This is the
invades
guy I
and
fell in
steals
love
the
with.
nation, does not have the right of self-defense. Those that are being violated, he has ignored the fact that the Palestinians have been
That's the
treated
guy I fell for. Oh, here we go. What is this? Ken O'Keefe. Fuck the TSA tour in Toronto, part 4. 9 years ago. No, that wasn't it. Message from Ken O'Keefe to the Soumani family. This is from 14 years ago.
Okay, tell me about your...
Beautiful, and I miss you all so very much. I want you all to know as well that, I'm spending more time away from my family. I'm on a tour right now in the UK, raising awareness about the project.
Always fucking saying that, huh? He's always trying to pull those heartstrings. Ken O'Keefe resigns, steps down as Iowa football quarterback. So Ken O'Keefe was an Iowa quarterback coach. Where is the... All right. Ken O'Keefe. I put Ken O'Keefe college tour and it didn't come up. Let's try world... What the fuck? World Citizen Project. Trump is a stooge for the Friar State. This is Ken O'Keefe from 8 months ago. Because again, he can just pop up. He can do horrible shit and
all these options.
Got a lot to say about what's...
fuck his whole community, fuck his whole base. And then he shows back up a few years later and he's
going on in Israel, between Israel and Gaza. What's your view on the future of the situation?
Well, I think it would be worth noting that there was a claim, if you might recall, that was repeated over and over by the media about 40
40
beheaded
babies.
babies. I think you might recall that. In fact, I think you
Yeah, I
might
think it
have
was some
cited that.
German press person reported it incorrectly, yeah.
One German person.
I can't
reported
remember, but
40
it was
beheaded
debunked,
babies,
yeah.
and that was it.
There were babies,
Oh,
because you know
what?
what happened to the Bebas boys, they were.
So your position is that the 40 beheaded babies claim and the multiple rapes claim
No,
that
the multiple
Israeli
rapes definitely
media-
happened. I mean, it's just...
You notice how he won't let Ken
It wasn't
talk? Whenever you don't let the person talk, it's because they're right and you're trying to like get it.
babies beheaded, but there were kids beheaded, murdered, and many women raped. I mean,
I'm not sure.
Says who? Like he says it so matter of factly, and you see this this arrogance that comes across from so many people like him, where he says shit like, "Well, yeah, no, there undoubtedly there were this, and it was that, and it was this." Where? Based on what? Who told you that? You know, you say this like it's a fact. There's been an investigation. The independent investigation shows it. You know, all that shit. He acts like it's a completely different narrative than it actually is. Hang on a second. I'm gonna just let this play for a second. So hang on. Let's see how Ken pushes him down while I go get something.
I have read 1984.
The point is that one of the things were wrong, so it all doesn't matter.
If the journalistic standards have changed to the point that the claim of beheaded babies, which has now been thoroughly disproven and made to be what it was, a false
What about the other stuff that
accusation,
hasn't been debunked and been
would
proven
that
to
be
be
relevant?
true?
Let's just say, for
It's not
instance,
relevant
that,
anymore because they carried out just as
Hamas
bad
had accused
atrocities.
the Israelis of beheading 40 babies.
Well, they're not, are they?
Would it have been considered wrong for them to?
What about
falsely
strangling a
make a
baby?
claim
What about
without
strangling a baby? Did that happen?
40 beheaded babies?
No,
That's
forget
pretty
that. We all
specific.
agree that
That
didn't happen.
doesn't
What,
mean
the
that
strangling a baby
Forget it.
did happen, and the
Forget it.
strangling a
Now
4-year-old
you
happened.
proved me wrong.
What do you
so
think
forget it.
about
Move on
that?
to the next.
Changed, and are you?
Is that
are
all
you
right? Because it's not
seriously
40
claiming
babies.
That one German said that there were 40 beheaded babies. Is that?
It's been
seriously
debunked.
your
Why
position?
you keep going on about? Let's go on to the Bebas family,
Why
which
would
we
you
know
let him
did
talk?
happen.
Beheaded babies
You
is
seem to be
not something
avoiding
to
that
be
one,
trifled
don't you?
with.
Why are you
Is
avoiding
the
the Bebas?
journalistic standard literally to
Give
the
me your
level
thoughts
of
on
1984?
X-22 report that
Where
Trump
we
is
believe
taking
whoever the
out the
authorized
Federal
journalist
Reserve.
is.
I don't, whatever we're being shown isn't the truth. It's not accurate, and it's a manipulation. So if Trump is supposedly taking out the Federal Reserve, who's going to replace him? If you pay attention to what's going on in the world right now, well, in the United States right now, literally dual citizen Israeli Jews are buying up everything. They all social media, it's controlling 95% of Congress, probably 100% of Congress. I mean, let's just be real. The ones that say they're not are just the controlled opposition, the Marjorie Taylor Greens and whatnot.
Marjorie Taylor Brown, you mean?
Yes. Trader Brown.
The rotting grass.
Marjorie Trader Brown. But they're literally talking about privatizing the military so that a Jewish man owns the United States military. Do you not understand how incredibly scary that is? They're talking about the 20-year memorandum of understanding. There's all this stuff that's going on that's showing you it's not Israel. I titled my video, "Stop Blaming Israel." It's not Israel doing all those things. And so whatever this X-22 report is, it's just more bullshittery. What else could it be?
We're in agreement that didn't happen, but you keep going back to that because you want to avoid the other thing. What about the Bebas kids?
Look at how this jackass keeps going. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't just sit there and keep saying I would if I was Ken, I would just flat out be like, why won't you let me make a point? Are you afraid of what I might have to say? Viola.
Have to say, I know that, but at the end of the day, I thought you had the mental capacity to acknowledge a false claim.
I already did, yeah, exactly.
So
just park that there. We're in agreement. You're wasting the time. Let's talk about these, the other thing, the atrocities that definitely did happen.
To point out a claim such as 40 beheaded
But that's
babies.
an old news. That was debunked ages ago. Why are you keeping going on about that?
He's not going on about the babies per se. He's going on about how journalists such as this doofus run with fucking stories without there being any integrity. Rah rah Marines, they program the shit out of them kids. Well, man, if you know so much, if Israel didn't do it, why are they still doing it? And why are they still doing it and doing it and doing it for so many centuries, man? What are you talking about? Israel hasn't existed for centuries. Your concept of centuries is provided by them. And it's not by Israel. Israel isn't why you believe in centuries. Israel wasn't writing the history books in the 1900s, 1800s. Yo!
Have you seen the new Scooby-Doo?
Of course not.
Okay.
I mean, I know what it is.
New Scooby-Doo. Shaggy and Velma are dating.
Because that's got to happen, right? It's got to be something stupid like that.
What? And Scooby's getting jealous because Shaggy's spending more time with her than him.
Of course, that's how that works.
Is that happened?
Oh, real atrocities have occurred since. I'm sorry, where were the real atrocities?
The Bee-Bass babies, let's start with them. A baby strangled to death, 10 months old, and a 4-year-old
Okay, so it's baby. How many babies were strangled to death? Sorry. And where's the forensics
Does it
evidence
matter?
of this? And has it
It's
been
one. We're talking about
peer
those
reviewed?
two. We're talking about those two. I mean, there were other babies and children murdered, but let's just.
I mean, this guy is embarrassing. Like, this guy is an embarrassing host. He can't shut up and let the other person express what's really being said. This guy is clearly a gatekeeper.
Let's get the zoning on those two.
Journalist who told you that one too.
Well, no, this has been proven. They did the autopsy report.
Oh, did they? Who's they?
Anyway, we're not going to agree on that. You know, you keep going on about this other thing that we've all agreed is debunked.
We've all agreed. Who's we?
So that was bad reporting. You'll at least say that.
It was bad reporting,
right?
but not us. Yeah, I agree, but I've been saying that from the beginning. You keep going on about it. Forget about it. Let's talk about Donald Trump now. What do you think
I mean,
about
the
his
whole
policies
idea
of,
that this reporting was bad reporting, but the rest of the reporting is good reporting.
But he's just another in a long list of traitors. He's when he gone and paid his homage to the Jewish state, and the policies of America remain, sending $30 million a day for the wealthiest state over there in the Middle East. So, I'm happy for the U.S. taxpayers, the homeless people, the jobless people, the economy going down.
$2 billion since October the 7th as well.
Sure the Jewish state has its money,
And Hamas got $2 billion as well.
Hamas got $2 billion. Hamas.
Is he? Well, what's the future then? What do you think the future is for peace out there?
You saw the news, but Fox News is claiming President Trump is declining in the polls. And President Trump...
Oh, well, there is a solution. Yes, there is a solution.
Tell us what your idea of a solution is.
It would be for international law to be applied. Also, for those people who falsely report what's called war propaganda. I think you might know something about Nuremberg and all the crimes of the quote-unquote Nazis, right? You know a thing or two there. So there was a little state set up there in the Middle East in 1948, and it apportioned the majority of land to a minority of recently immigrated people, who, by the way, there's no DNA testing. Did you notice that one? I don't know.
Well, no, there is DNA. It can actually be shown even in European Jews that there is a link to that nation, but over 50%
he just keeps saying it.
Is made up of people who were kicked out of the Arab lands where there really is apartheid.
They were kicked out of the Arab lands?
Yeah, of Iran, of all of them, of Jordan, of Egypt. of Lebanon.
Oh, it was the Arabs, was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as I recall, do you know Bella Hadid? Do you know the model, the supermodel? You ever hear of her?
I think I've heard of her.
He thinks he's heard of her.
But there was 800,000 kicked out, and now over 50% of Israel is
What
made
did you
up.
hear? Just so I know we're on the same page.
I don't know. Are you talking about a model? I don't know really what you're on about.
But you don't know.
Not
All
really.
right.
It's a
As
model.
long as
You
you
want to
heard,
talk
but you
about
don't know.
what
Let me just help you out. Actually, the Jews came from Europe and boats and really were just on such a really healthy dose of victimhood that the Palestinians that I know, I've lived there, both in the West Bank and Gaza, they are the best of people. In fact, they make us Western so-called civilized citizens look like the barbarians that you look like, mate. You're a barbarian.
Don't you think the Gazans look like barbarians when they're all celebrating those babies in coffins? Who was
celebrating those babies in coffins?
Were out cheering, having a rave with these bodies of these babies.
I'm sorry, I'm just recovering from the memo I didn't get about the German guy who said once that.
Why you keep going on about that? Is it because you've got no answers for what I'm saying and you're a bit embarrassed because you can't talk about what I just
That's
asked you?
exactly what he's
I would
doing.
have thought you'd know me by now. I ain't embarrassed with you, mate.
Well, why aren't you answering the question?
Like, that's hilarious. He's literally saying Ken's doing what he's doing. You're not answering the
Yeah, the
question.
solution would be to instigate international law and the war criminal charges that were brought against Netanyahu and his gallant buddy who called the Palestinians human animals need to be arrested, and then the evidence needs to be put to the fore. And if the evidence is there of the war crimes that have been have resulted in the issuance of bench warrants for the war criminals, Gallant.
There's been no war crimes. There's been no war crimes convictions.
The course of applying
there hasn't been any. The only accusations have come from the ICJ, which has all been debunked. It was South Africa being paid by Iran. We've seen the war crimes with our own eyes on October the 7th and further, like the Bebas babies. We've seen the war crimes of the people coming out looking like they've just come out of Belsen. I mean, what's your? You've got an axe to grind. What have you got against Israel? Is it because they're Jews?
I remember beautiful.
Are you anti-Semitic? So whatever happens, you're just going to be on their side. Are you an anti-Semite? Do you hate Jews?
No, I love the Palestinians.
Do you come across that way?
Semitic.
You come across that way.
Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said, are you anti-Semitic?
Yes. No, I'm anti-Semitism.
Am I going to be able to get 3 words out before you?
You've just got about 7 out. Just keep going. Answer the question.
Boy,
see what I mean?
That one. Yes. No. How could I be anti-Semitic? The Palestinians are Semitic, whereas the Israelis
are you anti-Jewish?
Don't allow. They've outlawed.
Let me make it more. You're flanneling around now.
The Israelis outlawed DNA testing, which would prove their Semitic roots, but they're not Semitic. The Palestinians are Semitic.
Well, how do you know if you haven't seen the DNA?
The arbiter of truth tell you
that.
How
do you know if you don't see the DNA?
How do you know if you haven't seen their DNA? How do you know if they have a link to? I mean,
what a clown!
You've
I
avoided
can't believe he said that
When
out
I
loud.
asked you, do you hate Jews? You seem to be avoiding that and smiling a bit. So
you didn't
just
say
answer
Jews.
that.
You said,
well, no, but now
I've
I've done it because you said, "Oh, Semites are out." So I've made it more specific for you. Do you hate Jews?
You asked me if I was anti-Semite, and I said no. I love the Palestinians.
And so I've tightened the question.
Why did that just fucking fuck up?
This is my friend's account. He told me all this legendary gear was earned just by idling. And this is Maple Story.
Is for peace out there. Now I've done it because you said, "Oh, Semites are out." So I've made it more specific for you. Do you hate Jews?
You asked me if I was anti-Semite, and I said no. I love the Palestinians.
And so I've tightened the question. Are you anti-Jewish? Do you hate Jews?
Well, do you recognize that the Palestinians are Semitic?
You're avoiding that question. That's interesting. Andrew, have you got any questions?
Yeah, just
it's funny how, like, again,
you've got a cartoon on your post saying, "What is the secret to everlasting happiness?" It says to not argue with fools, but I don't agree with you, says the response. Yes, you're right.
Wow, that was brilliant.
So I saw your comment on that.
Interesting point.
Do you guys see like the exact stuff that's happening to Ken?
Get some sort of resolution
is what happens to me.
You get lasting peace. What is going to be the solution for lasting peace in Gaza?
I love how they keep coming at him like, oh, so you can't talk about what's wrong without coming with the 100% solution that's going to work. Like, my wife does that to me sometimes too, where it's like you can't point out what's the solution. Like, I don't know what the solution is. We have to like figure it out. We have to work towards it. But the only way we can get towards a solution is by acknowledging what's wrong first.
I served in the Marines, right? I've been in war. I have a feeling neither one of you ever been in a war. But
I think it might have affected you, hasn't it?
as a man who,
I think
there
it
we
might
go
have
again. Your
affected
buddy.
you.
Wow, he's still playing that same obnoxious twat.
Well,
You,
I
like the little English expressions you've learned.
if you can answer that question, Ken, I'll give you the courtesy of at least sort of giving you the opportunity to answer that. What is the secret to lasting peace in Gaza?
He's already answered it 3 times.
well, lasting peace in the world is the same as lasting peace in Palestine, and that would be the application of law so that we could effect lawful, peaceful remedy. Everything would be evidence-based, so if a claim is made, you'd need to provide the evidence to show claim, and if you made false, that would also be something that could be considered very injurious to the court, and it's actually criminal. It's called perjury when you lie on record. See, all of the journalists that repeated the 40 beheaded babies lied.
That's not perjury, that has to be in a court.
And by the way, the rapes also, even the Jewish media that you love so much.
When I said that, I love the Jewish media. You see, you're coming out with your anti-Semitic stuff, and you're slipping
You
in
just can't stop talking.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Do you think Hamas is a terrorist organisation?
Why do you
we're
keep
back to that old
Well, you may as well answer it. I mean, you're not going to answer it. You're not answering anything. You're just going on about old stuff.
Well, I think it's easy because
answered everything.
In the UK, Ken, just 10 seconds. In the UK, it's a prescribed terrorist organisation. You talk about the rule of law.
And the US one.
And the rule of law says it's an offence if you support a terrorist organisation. So do you condemn Hamas?
Oh my God, you guys are still repeating.
Oh, no, I just
so that's a no, isn't it? Because you'd say yes
no,
if you
I
were.
don't. No, I don't. In fact, I say love and respect.
You support him, are you not breaking the law?
I do. I support the idea of Hamas, but Hamas isn't real, so I don't support what we're showing of as Hamas.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, we've got to go. It's been great having you on. That's Kenneth O'Keefe, former US Marine and Gulf War veteran.
Steven, this credit improvement successory by Credit Karma is stunning.
Oh yeah, it's an elegant way to show you use Credit Karma to learn about the factors affecting your credit and how to
Why do you
get
have my
your
pants
scores
on?
from fair to fair.
Those are mine.
Download Intuit
Oh,
Credit Karma
well, no,
for
maybe
free
Mom
and
got
start
you some too.
successorizing your credit today.
Sorry, I'm just commenting on said thing. This is just crazy. Tell that limey to quit sucking up to Jays. I don't know who that is. So crazy. Once you crack the code, you turn around and see how programmed everyone is, and you are just stuck by yourself. Well, you're not by yourself, and that's like literally like the main sort of point of this feed is for people like us to be able to find other people like us and realize that you're not fucking alone. It's not that bad. Now, in this case, there's, you got 2 people. But Craig's been here for quite some time now, so Craig can without a doubt verify that my feed has been completely I mean, for me to have 2 likes and 2 viewers, 2 likes, 2 viewers, it's just,
Oh, he did?
you know, it's so insane. When you know the numbers I used to get, you know, first of all, I used to get more views than anyone else you personally know. Not know of, but know. And it was literally changed overnight. And you can go see it for yourself.
Yeah.
If you go look at my video history, and you go look back to the day Charlie got kirked,
That's cool.
I did a feed that night.
Keep an eye out for Gary's truck. He's dropping that tree off that the lady's gonna come pick up today.
Oh dear.
Whatever.
Oh, he'll be in Mom's car. Oh yeah, his truck is in the shop.
We're gonna lose out on that fucking thing, you know, right?
Yeah.
Sweet April. Just say
All right.
fresh out of the shower. Okay.
I mean, this is really scary, man. Never again. Holocaust survivor absolutely demolishes Israel. Oh, yeah? Give us these actors. This has 3.1 million views. It's Double Down Media. Or Double Down News. Like I say, you guys have to stop being caught up in the Israel trap. You have to stop falling for the Israel boogeyman. And you see it, right? Even in that Ken O'Keefe video from 8 years ago, you see how it works. The real thing is there. Are you against Jays? Are you opposed to Jays? Are you against? That's the only thing that matters. And it's so strange because they don't say that, like, oh, are you against Muslims? Are you against Christians? They don't do that.
I mean, I can't say that. He's got a friend that's got a government that they're okay with. He's got another friend that's got a...
You know, it really does come down to the same thing every time. And like, even look at the comment on here. Ali Ashtani, I don't know whoever that is, but look at what they said. Well, dude, if you know so much, if Israel didn't do it, why are they still doing it? And why are they still doing it and doing it and doing it for so many centuries, man? All right? Like, do you see how programmed that person is? Without even bothering to hear what's being said, or if they did hear what's being said. I don't know how long they were here before they decided to comment. But the you know, you have been given your boogeyman, especially since you've been told you are allowed to talk about this at this point, because 10 years ago you weren't even allowed to do that. You could see the video, that video with Ken from 8 years ago, where he wasn't allowed to even talk about Israel. He wasn't allowed to talk about their crimes and whatnot. It was, and actually that couldn't have been 8 years ago. My bad. That was 8 months ago. My bad. And of course, this guy is still trying to bring up the October 7th bullshit, right? The October 7th. That's all they keep talking about. And the thing is, like, there's a couple of different schools of thought on October 7th. He's here. Personally, I don't believe October 7th happened. I believe what we were shown was a complete, total false flag. Actors, you know, it was a completely manufactured narrative, carefully crafted and distributed exactly how they wanted it to be.
You gotta get a tree out of his back.
I've told you guys many, many times, asked you guys to, show me. Look it up for yourself. Figure it out. See if you can see any sort of any footage, anything from that supposedly happened on October 7th that is undeniable. It validates the narrative that you're given, and it's undeniable, and nothing else can come from it. I mean, I've literally spent the time looking. I've spent the energy looking. October 7th attack footage. Right, let's see. Nope, here's this. Oh, this is a great one. Watch this one.
As the world debates the military response, 19 days since the worst terror attack.
You need my help? Do you need my help? Do you need my help? I don't think you guys do.
Back in Israeli history, its leaders are trying to frame the stakes, today laying bare the brutality in graphic detail.
Okay, so here is the news report from 11 days later.
Like there couldn't possibly be new
So,
horror
what is
left
this?
to see. No brutality that hadn't already
So,
been shared or live streamed.
not only in this very first footage, in this first piece of footage, okay?
Laying bare the brutality
Look,
in
just look at
graphic
this.
detail. Here's Raf Sanchez.
It felt like there couldn't possibly be new horror left to see.
Okay,
No
so
brutality.
just right there. So apparently, not only 11 days earlier did Hamas carry out these attacks, but they did it while wearing body cam footage that they then sent to CBS News so they could use it in this report and line it up perfectly with this person who was driving by that was getting shot, who also happened to have a dash cam filming, so we could see from both angles. Right here. This is the first piece of evidence you're shown.
That hadn't already been shared or live streamed. But tonight, with global attention turning to the spiraling death toll in Gaza,
so wait,
Israel's military
what?
trying to keep the
We're not
focus on the
we're not talking about
massacre
that.
sparked the war, inviting.
So with everybody focusing on the massive retaliation death toll that is just already well surpassed what they claim happened in Israel, Israel is trying to get the focus back on, hey, but look what happened to us. Don't look like previously. Just look at this one day. Because the second school of thought is, like I told you, I don't believe it happened. And I'll show you it didn't happen. But if it did happen, if there was an organization called Hamas, they would be more than justified for finally, striking back against the oppressive regime that has been, putting them through the slow genocide for 76 years. Prior to October 7th, during their illegal nightly raids in Palestine, where the IDF would show up at 3, 4 in the morning, kick in the door, start shooting, take out 2, 3 people, and then, take prisoners, not hostages. They're not hostages. They're prisoners. Anyone that survives indefinitely in who knows where, in whatever camps they want to put them in. And they were doing this every single night, to the point where prior to October 7th, 243 people had been reported killed by the IDF that year. It was setting up to be the deadliest year for the Palestinians since 2006. Only second to 2022, which was the deadliest year for the Palestinians since 2006. Only second to 2021, which was, and it would so on and so on. They just kept upping the death toll. And the death toll that we're given is nothing. Like they literally, what were we talking about the other day where they were reporting it in multiple things where they would be like, this amount of things happened, and then this also happened. Remember we were talking about something? Because that's what they do with the Palestinian death toll. They'll be like, oh yeah, the IDF had killed 243 people so far that year in their nightly raids. And then there was this event that 176 people were killed at. And then there was this other thing where 242 people were killed. Like, but the official death toll will only be the first number. It's really strange how they do that. But it was going to be the deadliest year for the Palestinians so far, with thousands and thousands of people illegally taken hostage and just disappearing. Children. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So to think that the only reasonable thing for the Palestinians to do was sit there and take it is just mind-blowing, mind-numbingly stupid. No American would think that way if you know, Canada decided they wanted the UP. None of you have any fucking interest, you know, relation to, nothing even close to mattering. The UP doesn't matter to you in the slightest. But if Canada decided they wanted to take it, oh, America would be, fuck Canada trying to invade or take our shit, took our jobs. I don't think you can come on here daily for me and a couple other people. I am not the one to convince. It's everyone else. Oh, I know. I think you're already sort of here. Open-minded. What's up? Person Matthews. What's happening? The fuck? That's weird. Bro, please. Oh, I'm a huge bro, please. I hate when people say bro. You notice how I don't say it? It's clearly something that they've done to us. I mean, the fact people like that dudes call their girl bro. I feel weird when I'm talking to my wife and I'm like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like saying man, oh man, that's crazy. Like we both know I'm not calling her a man. I'm more stating it like it's just a, oh man, oh gosh. But I would never call my wife bro. That's so gay. It's very disrespectful. But the girls do it to each other.
I would never call you dude. It's disrespectful. You don't call your chosen partner.
Girls call each other bro.
But they're not their chosen partner that they choose to
Oh, I know.
navigate through life with. It's different.
You have such great PowerPoints. I just wish you would have a seat sometimes and engage with your audience instead of feeling like being talked down to. The only reason that you feel like I'm talking down to you is because you see me as above you. That's all. I'm talking down to the worst of the worst. If you put yourself in that position, I'm sorry. But you are more than welcome to engage in any way you possibly can and say whatever you think is necessary. I don't know when you've ever been here where I don't engage with the real audience. Obviously, there are people who get ignored, but there are people that don't. Bro, stop saying bro. Bro. My kids would say it all the time if we let them.
Bro. Bro.
We make fun of them every time they do it, so they stop doing it. I like ruining everything for them, honestly. The other day they asked me something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's totally 6'7". And they're like, "Stop!" All right, I had made dinner. I was like, "Is it 6'7"? I always say mate or bruv or bruvva, so I've decided to say bro for once. Yeah, but again, that's different. And I guarantee you don't call girls bruvva. I love bruvva. Bruvva! But I've seen human trafficking. That's the sole reason why I love that. Is from a dude sitting on a toilet. So we have to get back to our footage real quick.
Yeah, nice one, bruv, yeah. Oh, nice one, brother. Nice one, brother. Nice one, brother. I said, nice, bruv. Nice one, brother. I said, nice, bruv. Fucking nice one, brother. Nice one, bruv.
Brother!
Fuck off.
It's the best.
NBC News and other journalists to a
Okay,
screening of raw video from the October 7th Hamas terror attack.
It's a screening. He saw it. Oh yeah? He's trying to prepare himself. But we don't get to see that footage.
For 46 minutes, we sat
46 minutes and saw this? Where are all the people? Oh, she's really, where are all the cry, where are all the tears? Look at, I love the idea that people in cars got out of their cars to run across an open field, trying to get away from gunfire. Yeah, it's a great film.
They're so graphic, they allowed us to describe what we saw.
Oh, now we can only describe it.
Into a bomb shelter where an Israeli father.
See, they won't let us show the footage or even show blurred out versions of it or whatever. We just get to tell you what we saw. And what we saw was them throw a grenade into a bomb shelter.
His two young sons.
Oh.
The blast kills the father and wounds the little boys.
Wow. How? A grenade inside a bomb shelter doesn't kill all three? The father was just shielding them so much with his braveness.
Why am I alive? And tells his brother, I think we're going to die.
Oh.
A Hamas gunman stands over them, drinking.
So oh, is this part of the footage, the body cam footage that Hamas released? Remember, this is 11 days after the attack. 11 days after the attack, the news has all of the footage from the Hamas body cams. And any security footage. That they've gone around and grabbed all that footage that quickly. Why is Hamas... Sorry. Why is Hamas releasing body cam footage of what to validate the Israeli fears, the Israeli fear propaganda? Literally, if they didn't release the footage, then what would Israel have? Good thing.
Coke from their fridge. It's not clear what happened to the boys.
I'm sure that you can.
So wait. So he throws the grenade into the shelter. The dad dies. The one kid says to his brother, "Why am I alive?" The other kid says, "I think we're going to die," while the Hamas operative stands over them, goes to the refrigerator, and gets a Coke. And then we don't know what happened after that. Are you fucking kidding me? That's a story? That's a justification for genocide? Because you always have to keep that in mind, right? These aren't just like little simple stories. These are what's been used to justify the murders of over 600,000 people. The genocide of over 600,000 people. Since guys got fucked, should I start a YouTube channel and talk shit for 3 hours a day? Can you? Can you do it? Can you do it without saying, You might think it's easy and anybody can do it. So you should. I think you should. I think everybody should. If everybody's doing it. Look, if you're not going to share my shit, if you're not going to help me grow, then fucking, if you're not going to help me grow, help a Negro, then help yourself. Make videos. I'll show your videos. If you're really that good, fucking hey, man, I'll encourage people to watch you. Why wouldn't I? It's not a popularity contest. If you're doing a great job and you're saying all the right things, I'll share your shit. If it was, just sharing for share's sake, well, depending on who you are, I may do that. But, I'm definitely not going to share it if you're wrong. What's the point? I could share anybody's shit that's wrong. You could astral project. I bet you can. Stop by. Come on. Show up. Let's talk. Anybody that, So I've sort of come to another one of those impasses where, it's a fork in the road kind of moment where I'm like, holy shit, how come nobody else has even said this before? But all of you that believe in stuff like that, even my wife type people who believe in energy projection and all that, but especially if you believe in astral projection or you believe in Jesus or you're one of these assholes who claims to have a relationship with God, Jesus, and, he visits you or some shit. Funny how all those guys that say that kind of shit predictably disappear after our conversation, even if they're lifers, even if they're the people that are here all the time. As soon as they get Guyonized themselves, they shut the fuck down. I don't see them as much anymore. Honestly, Matt's probably one of the only people that took the ass whooping and came back. I got to give him credit on that one. I don't want to be famous. That's an arrogant thing to say there, boy. It's assuming that you're going to be famous. With fame comes security, comes wealth, comes the ability to make things happen. Why wouldn't you want that? If you have the ability to do that, why wouldn't you want that? Shit, if you have that ability, get yourself famous and then pass the buck. Say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Watch this guy. I mean, you're saying nonsense, but that's what would happen. Fell asleep trying to stay awake. Fell asleep trying to stay awake and just woke up as soon as I said your name. That's kind of strange, don't you think? I put this video in about 30 minutes ago. On? So you were sleeping, you heard me say your name and it woke you up? That's interesting. Shows you how aware we are. And before anybody runs with it, I wasn't talking shit about Matt. I was giving him praise. But think about it, man. Think about what we're being shown. It's... Oh, that's what I was saying. So all of you that believe in... I mean, it's such a strange thing when you talk to somebody that tells you that they have a relationship with God or Jesus or whatever. And that they have conversations with the... that level of arrogance is just... it's so weird. It's something I can't really relate to. You know, even with my, you know, I can understand if you're the bad guy and you're a piece of shit, why you would like children, because you're a bad guy and a piece of shit, right? Okay. But when it comes to, like, this part, like, where's the, you know, how does that work? Do you believe when other people say it? If somebody else says that they have a relationship with God, what happens if God was hanging out with you at the same time God was hanging out with somebody else? Would you feel bad? I did turn around, and yes, I was wrong and came back. It takes a real man, not man, but a real person, a real, you know, stand-up kind of person to acknowledge when they're wrong. And I appreciate the hell out of that. Let's see. Guymo's World. Shlomo's World. I'm just trying to send this off to a few peoples. Man, that Trump blowing Bubba thing sure did disappear, didn't it? What the fuck happened to that? I forgot about it till just now. I saw a message I had sent to somebody else that had that in there. It's crazy how many people I send messages to that never see the message. It's really weird. I value authenticity just as much. I just had that young attitude of always thinking I was right when clearly I'm not. And that's amazing, dude. A lot of people can't do that. I feel like I'm sleepy, especially after I eat food. Makes me sleepy and I hate it. Might be diabetic. Guy rambles on 3 hours a day and it's not entertaining. It's discovery. Okay. Also, is Trump was actually attempted to be assassinated, then why isn't he searching night and day for his possible killers? Well, no, because they got wrapped up, right? The Trump shooting is easily one of the worst, you know, lowest budget false flag operations they've ever done. Almost in a we just don't even care if they figure it out kind of way. Because there's just, that story just makes no... I've been saying it literally since the day it happened. Since my friend sent me a text saying, oh shit, that Trump card you have might be worth a couple more dollars. He got shot. And this was like, I don't know, an hour after it happened. I don't know why I didn't hear about it, right? And so I went to look for it. Look, I figured literally that would be like the only thing on YouTube when I went to it. Would just be video after video, person after person showing, because, you know, 2024, man. 2 goddamn cell phones. Back up. I think it's a washing machine.
I know it should be a calendar.
I think it's a washing machine.
I think this is Alex's calendar.
Never happened in my 20s. Feeling sleepy after eating in my 30s is a nightmare. Yeah, well, welcome to getting old, man. But
you learn about food your whole life changes.
But what was I fucking talking about? Trump, something about Trump.
Wow, this is a big hit.
Anyway, the whole thing is that where are the trolls today? They're here. Interesting though, they are sort of missing, aren't they? But I want to know. Yeah, I wonder. It's so gay.
It's so perfect.
I wonder, like, all of you out there. Oh yeah, we were talking about the Trump shooting actually, and how insanely fake that was. And I've done so many videos on that. And the thing is, where are all the other videos? Where's the Route 51 video by Mindy Robinson? You know, she made this amazing video about the Las Vegas shooting. As a matter of fact, guys like Coop, who's come out of nowhere in the last, 3 months, making some of the best videos I've seen other than his Christian fucking bullshit. He's not talking about it either. How come nobody's done any sort of deep dive into the Trump shooting? And if they have, I haven't seen it. I'd love to see it. If you know of a great video that I could watch about it, then by all means, please tell me. Because I'd love to see somebody break down all of the insane inconsistencies with that narrative. Like, I don't think literally any of it makes sense. From the location to the setup, to the fact that the guy was filmed walking around on buildings for like 10 minutes prior to there's just so many fucking inconsistencies in that story that literally I think that's why it's disappeared, because they know they can't even present something that sort of makes sense. I mean, when was that shit? Shouldn't we have passed the year anniversary of it by now? I was looking for it, and it's in the exact same vein. I'm sitting there looking for, proof of October 7th attacks. You don't see those anywhere either, do you? Trump rally shooting. What the fuck? Is this just... What is this? Trump orders fast-track review of U.S. vaccine schedule, blast 72-shot plan. Assassination attempt. That was July 13th, 2024. Let's read this thing. I don't think I've read this one yet. I had to have read this. On July 13th, 2024. So, we definitely passed the 1-year anniversary of the Trump shooting. And did you hear a fucking word about it? As Matt said, where is the full-on expose? I mean, I know his father was interviewed prior, or like right after it happened, and his father said, I love my kid, and I'm not going to say anything until after I talk to the police. He refused to comment about anything. I don't even know if he said, I love my kid. I think he just said, I refuse to comment about anything until after I talk about the police, or I talk to the police. I haven't had the flu, cold, chest infection, sore throat, or any illness since I changed my diet 11 years ago. Diet is key, and have more energy. Getting old sucks. Yes. Erica Kirk in leather pants. Poor grieving widow. Yeah, I mean, imagine if that would have happened to Trump the same fucking way. Good thing that guy was just a fucking, literally hit the most extreme, part of Trump, like the the part that would be the least affected, that would least affect him for the rest of his life. Didn't take out a finger, didn't get shot in any body part, just took off the sort of tip of his ear that it fucking grew back, actually. Funny how the logical takes are never the ones talked about. And the moment you start making sense, they fuck with the stream. Yeah, see, I can't tell what the stream looks like. You guys have to make that judgment for yourself. And to me, those should be like the green flags. It shouldn't be frustrating. I mean, it should be frustrating, but at the same time, it should be validating. And tell me, hey, the stream just cut. Repeat what you were saying, something like that. But these are the green flags that you should be sharing this shit. You stumbled onto a feed that isn't like any other feed you've seen before because you never see shit like this on anybody else's feed. Anyway, 20 Donald Trump, then a former president of the United States and presumptive nominee of the Republican Party in 2024 presidential election, survived an assassination attempt while speaking at an open-air campaign rally near Butler, Pennsylvania. It is validating. I remember when I was trying to talk about his ear, comments were getting automatically deleted. I mean, seriously, I don't have much to offer you. I can't show you the video of Donald Trump or an associate saying that Guy Williams character is such a pain in the ass because he's right about everything. It falls back on you. First of all, as a human being, you're a fantastic truth barometer. You know when you're getting bullshitted. Very, very, very rarely are you surprised by something. Does somebody fuck you over and you're completely surprised you had no idea it was coming? Most of the time when you get fucked over, you knew it was coming. You're more surprised if you don't get fucked over. Because as humans, it's a survival instinct. We are a fantastic truth barometer. So not only do you know I'm telling the truth just by your own insides, but unlike getting a video saying I'm right, you instead get a system that's operating in ways you never see it operate for anyone else in a very, seemingly purposeful way to prevent, to interfere, to distract, to detract. Is it some sort of like Friar Holiday Sabbath or some shit? I mean, I know it's Saturday, so that's a big deal. But it is weird that they're not here today. Online and literally after refresh, they are gone. Sorry. When I stop the video, if you go back and you look at my previous videos, they don't say each video has hundreds of comments on them. Most of the time, my videos show no comments. You don't see any of the comments that come through on the stream or anything like that. It's really strange. And it would be one thing if everybody was like, yeah, that's how it works. That happens on my feed too. Then I wouldn't have anything to say. Four times in a row, YouTube kept automatically removing it, and I gave up. It's never happened to me like that before. That's what I say to chicks all the time. They probably delete them because what we're asking and saying makes too much sense. Partially. The other part is so I always think back to the Avengers, Captain America movie, whatever it was. When Captain America was fighting Zemo, and Zemo was trying to fracture the Avengers, and he says, when if there's a revolution and you try to crush it from the outside, it will always come back and come back stronger. But if you can fracture the revolution from the inside, you kill it and it doesn't come back, or it's much less likely to come back. And so simply censoring me would just, validate and strengthen the whole thing. Not to mention, they watch me because it tells them what to plan for. If I'm on the forefront of all this, they know how to prepare for the next wave that's coming when other people start figuring this shit out. So I'm a really good reconnaissance operation for them. And I know this sounds crazy. Like, believe me, if you don't think I think this sounds crazy, I wouldn't believe most people that would say this shit either. The only reason I think this way is not just because I think this way, it's because of what I've been shown. I'm trying to make sense of what I'm shown. Because otherwise it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense how somebody can get 40,000 views on their feed and 6 months later they struggle to get 100. 5 viewers, 5 likes and shit. So what they're trying to do is get you to get frustrated. Like, seriously, you could watch any other stream. You wouldn't have to deal with any sort of interruptions. You wouldn't have to deal with your comments being removed. You wouldn't have to deal with trolls attacking you. You wouldn't have to deal with outside interference that may come from those trolls, that maybe they start calling you, they start, calling your job, doing, because that shit's happened in the past as well. But you could watch literally anybody, and you could even watch a lot of people that are conspiracy people, that are talking about Trump, that are talking about Israel, that are talking about, the coming World War III and this, that. And you can even your Nick Fuentes's, a lot of people talking bad about Israel, and then, the Jays as well, just to certain up to the boundary lines, right? But you could watch any of those people. You could go watch Ian Carroll, and Ian Carroll will give you a shit ton more information than I am. He'll have nice little graphics, and he'll show you this, and he'll show you, look, and it's there, and he points it all out, and he has a team that works really hard to make sure his feeds are presented really, really well. And again, it's a lot more, just, information. I would say on the surface, he is much better than I am. Which is a lot easier to do when you, again, have a team and you are supplied with the narrative. You're not creating your own narrative. You're not questioning every aspect of the narrative you're shown. He does not do that, and none of them do that, because the vast majority of them are openly Christian. It's just such crazy shit. Sorry, Jen. Nope, not even a little bit. It's a good thing you're not the man of the house, huh? So, we know your opinion doesn't much matter.
Well, that's not nice.
I didn't write the rules, I just follow them.
You follow rules?
I'm actually really opposed to them.
Total bullshit.
Oh yeah, you know me, I don't follow any rules. I'm recklessly driving all the time. Instead of helping old ladies across the street, I'm aiming for them. Beep, beep, get out of the way, bitch. Move them saggy titties. That's what I do. I'm like that, son. My feed is always an open forum. I'm always hoping for intelligent discourse. And you know, if somebody asked me, like if I was on that interview and the guy was asking me, so what do you think the solution for everlasting peace would be? I would say, well, this is a plea to the Vatican and to every Christian out there. What we need you to do is pray that Jesus makes one of his random appearances. He could even bring some stigmata with him. And pays a visit to Netanyahu.
It happens.
And lets Netanyahu know that he's on the wrong page and that, you know, he needs to do something different. Or shit, you know, have Jesus talk to Yahweh or however you believe it works. But that's a realistic thing, right? All of you Christians out there who believe in that shit, that should be, you know, you should support that, right? I am saying, you know, your shit's the real deal, right? You guys all have your relationship with Jesus, and not only does he answer your prayers, but apparently he talks to you sometimes, and he guides you, and he helps you find your car keys, and, you know, all kinds of shit, right? So, how about, because I actually tried doing this one other time before, and that was with COVID. Right, I tried to get the Christians to just unify and pray that the COVID go away. And you could even have guys like Pat Robertson who can, you know, command Jesus to heal your busted knee, command Jesus to wipe out your cancer, command Jesus to third thing, because we got to have the rule of threes for comedic purposes, of course. So why doesn't he just be like, Jesus, we're not going to ask you for any more knee, elbow, cancer miracles for a while. We just want one big collective, you know, eliminate COVID, touch, and then it's gone, right? How come their feet were never held to the fire on that one? How come not a single person asked them why they can't just do that? Why can't you guys just touch COVID away? Is COVID beyond the scope? Did not enough people with COVID pledge their $1,000 seed or something? What is it? But now we're past COVID. At least we were. We saw a COVID commercial last night. One of those, everything's good, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, well then COVID hits, babe, you're dead.
So bad.
It's so stupid.
It was so dumb. Like, literally stupid as fuck.
But so in that vein, in that same argument, why aren't all the Christians pooling together to encourage Jesus to appear to Netanyahu, Bezalel Smotrich, Itmar Ben-Gvir, the whole coalition? One day when they're having one of their child rape meetings, Jesus could show up and be like, hey, you got to stop this genocide. Oh, by the way, I'm not a fan of this child rape either. How come Jesus never appeared? It's you know, how come that shit never happens and it's never called out? How come Christians around the world could hear me say that and they don't go, hey, you know what? You're right. How come they won't say that? All the same people that fucking be like, thank you, God, for the food that I worked hard for, bought, paid for, brought it home, cooked it up, you know, ate it, cleaned it up. Thank you, God. Numbers are bullshit. Keep talking shit. And you ain't in it for the money. You're in it for the truth. They go hand in hand. You know, I'm in it for the revolution. I'm in it for the change that my kids, my grandchildren don't live in this world. And so, no, with the only way that you ever achieve anything in this world is with financial backing. And it's again strange that you can find people to financially back fucking anything. Like for a millionaire to invest $100,000 into something like me, knowing that at the very least, the bad publicity will sell a gazillion albums. Why don't they do it? You know, I make $1 zillion. I make $1 million. Guess, you know, what do you think? I just go fucking buy a bunch of Bentleys and shit? Well, buy a Bentley and some diamonds and shit? You really think that's what I do with my money? My money goes into more and more and more and more billboards and buying airtime and buying, you know, newspaper pages and you know, just buying the way into. Not saying I have all the answers, but definitely saying, you know, I have all the questions. We have all the questions. We deserve the answers. Don't you feel like we deserve answers? Are you really okay with your, like, nothing Goyim status? You're just some dumb Goyim here to make the fucking, you know, keep the cogs turning? You know, I mean, there's not a Christian on earth that should get mad at me for not believing their fairy tale. They shouldn't get mad at me for asking them questions, for saying, hey, I'm willing to believe in your thing. It sounds really nice, actually. You know, I just got to do so and so on and shut my mouth and avoid talking about these things and, you know, fall in line. Because when I die, then that's when that's the party. Once I die, I get to go to heaven. Yay! That's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see you there. Fucking party in heaven. Heaven seems like it's like a library. And you get there and you're like, yay, I made it. Shh. What do you mean? Shh. What do you mean? This is heaven, okay? There's a lot of people that don't like loud noises. So, you know, it's heaven for them too, okay? It can't just be for you. So wait, you're saying there's like rules? Yes. So go ahead and go get in that line. We're gonna assign you a cubicle. You know, you have this much space where you're allowed to do what you want to do to certain degrees. So there's a lot of famous people up here. So like I think I call this the Jimi Hendrix, you know, paradox or whatever you want to call it. But so Jimi Hendrix is up in heaven, right? And think about how many people would be like, holy shit, Jimi Hendrix, I want to meet you. Down here, people were like that. And he's only, you know, grown in popularity throughout the years. Like he's a legend as far as now's generations are concerned. Think about people like Bach, Mozart and shit, right? They literally had to hire people to be around them, to keep other people away from them, because otherwise they'd be stuck listening to, oh my God, I love your songs. Purple Haze is so good. Oh my God. Yeah, so, you know, like, what's up? Like, do you know how many awful conversations they would be stuck having constantly without security around them? So now take it up to heaven. And now you have generations worth of people who are just, they want to hang out with Jimi Hendrix. They're big fans of Mozart. You know, they're big fans of whoever. So now, does that person up in heaven have security? Because, you know, they're not going to want to spend, like, what kind of heaven would that be to be stuck, you know, shaking hands with a bunch of fucking fanboys and shit your whole existence? And that number, you never run out because there's always more and more fanboys. What kind of heavenly existence would that be? Don't you think Jimi Hendrix would want to be out there exploring the realms of sound and space and blah, 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 whatever it is? Why would Jimi Hendrix want to sit there and meet your cousin Gerald, who, you know, fucking sells carpet and picks his nose with his left hand, even though he's right-handed? Like, who gives a fuck? Yeah, your favorite song was Machine Gun. Good job. So, who then works security? Are there, you know, are they on shifts? Is it part of their heavenly, like, were they security guards down here and they died and they were like, man, my idea of heaven is to be a security guard for Jimi Hendrix. So that's what happens. They get to be Jimi Hendrix security forever. And so again, do they have shifts? And does that then mean that they have, like, they leave their shift and they what? Go to heaven home? How does heaven home work? Do they have heaven relationships? Do they have heaven children? Do those children then have to have schools and then be teachers and basically just an entire society again? Is that how that works? Magic is the bomb. Okay. I mean, just think about how ridiculous a notion heaven is. How could I possibly be in heaven if my wife and my children aren't there? At the same time, how could I possibly be in heaven with my wife and children there? Like, what's my idea of heaven? How old am I in heaven? Am I a 26-year-old guy who really likes to, you know, throw his thing around? Do I get to bang hot chicks? Is that even a thing up there? I know I've always wanted to try shooting heroin. I wanted to know what all of the you know, what is that people ruin their lives over it. The inspiration behind so many of my favorite artists and whatnot. Obviously, you know, nobody thinks this is going to be a good idea. Let me stick this needle into my arm. As a matter of fact, I've been in the room when it was happening and been almost there and just thought, nah, it's not worth it. I shouldn't do this. Because I knew I'd like it and wouldn't come back. But I sure want to know what the fuck it feels like. So when I'm up in heaven, do I get to shoot heroin? Marry that girl, marry. No matter what it say. Heaven is such a dumb idea. And at the same time, you're not going to go anyway, right? Because there's a whole bunch of, there's a list of rules and regulations that you're supposed to follow. You're supposed to. And it says it clear as day. If you don't follow these rules, the God that loves you so much is going to let you burn in hell for all of eternity. And you think that there's a whole list of rules there so that you can break all those rules. But as long as you say, well, I'm sorry, I repented, then it's all good. All is forgiven. Why give you the list of rules if all you have to do is, you know, apologize? Yeah, I knew what I was doing. Yeah, it was something I had repented for numerous times in the past. But yeah, I'm repenting again, so slate's clear. What's the point? And you're going to hell. Every single one of you. If you could, you had sex before you were married. Some of you might have been, virgins. Some of you, or maybe you paid for it. Who knows? But once you were married, sex wasn't only for procreation purposes. Sex is natural. Sex is fun. Sex is best when it's one-on-one. One-on-one. Heaven sounds like a scam. It is. Follow the rules while you're down here. Follow your Christian God's actual favorite chosen people, not you Christians. Follow the chosen people's rules. Don't speak out. Don't rock the boat too much. Suffer, because, trials and tribulations and whatnot. Funnel money into the local, organization, the local mafia organization. You're basically paying for protection, right? I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's a racket. You're sold this idea that if you don't give this organization money each week, bad shit's gonna happen to you. They won't be responsible for the bad shit that happens to you. They'll be here when you come around, but hey, you gotta give 10%. That's a racket. It's so crazy that they get away with that shit and that people believe it. I was in California. I was 22-ish, 23-ish. And my buddy Danny was a Catholic, a Mexican. He was this Mexican-born kid or dude who was born here in California and hated. He didn't speak Spanish. At least he said he didn't speak Spanish. And he hated the illegal Mexicans. He hated the undocumented immigrants. He was such a weird dude. But Danny was awesome. Danny will always be like my brother at heart. Like, I love that dude. But there was always this unspoken sort of rule between he and I. And that he was, his mom was like crazy religious. She was one of those stereotype Mexican Catholic ladies. She would have the shit all over the house and she would, like it, and it'd just be like, do you honestly think your Mexican heritage is based on some bullshit that happened in the middle? That your people were capable of building insane pyramid structures and cities and, mountaintop Machu Picchu's and all this amazing stuff. And you're this devout Catholic? How did that happen? When did that happen? I'd love to know that story. I'd love to know when and how Mexicans went from like having any sort of pride whatsoever. And Mexicans are just Native Americans. It's the same thing. If you look at like Aztecs and Mayans and shit, guess what they look like? Native Americans. They have the big headdresses and, same sort of ceremonial shit. Why? Because again, they're just Native Americans. They're not Mexicans. They're the native people to this continent. And yet, they were devoutly Catholic. And like, I was by myself out in California. So come Christmas time, Danny would invite me up to his mom's house. His dad died years before. So where his little bitty mom, like his mom was smaller than my wife. She was just this little frail, little tough, didn't take no shit. Lived in Torrance. So Wasn't like it was the best neighborhood. And she was just this super Catholic. And so they would have me come for the holidays to spend it with them. And as a favor, she wouldn't make us. She wouldn't make me or anything, but she would ask that I go to Christmas Mass with them. And what am I going to say? No? You invite me into your house. You treat me. They even bought me presents. Like they would be like a razor or something stupid, but still, they didn't need to do that. Bring tears to my eyes every time they do it. Even almost now thinking about it.
Proper thing to do. That's what you do.
And it was interesting. And Danny was the youngest. Like his siblings were all like he was the accident baby, right? The Catholics that won't use birth control. So like his siblings were like his next sibling was his. The best part was his older brother was a super queen. He was the gayest gay guy ever. He was so flamboyant gay. It was such a funny thing to me to think like that's what you get. Because I know you probably were like as anti-gay as every Catholic ever is prior to your son, and you probably struggle with it. I'm sure she's prayed many nights that God take the gay out of her kid. But I would go to the mass with them and whatever. But so there was a couple of times down in San Diego when Danny would ask me to go to church with him. And again, this is my friend asking me to do something. And I always talk the shit, so, what do I have to fear going to some church, going to some mass service? So I would go with them. And I remember going with him. And so his girl at the time, his baby mama, they were just rocky. He stayed at my house for a long time, and like at the point where I could have been real selfish and been like, yeah, fuck that bitch, yada yada yada. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I was like, dude, you gotta go home. You gotta go back to your family. You gotta make this right. And so they ended up getting back together, but it was still always rocky. They ended up staying together for a while and had two more kids, and she just went all meth crazy, and he ended up raising all 3 kids by himself. Like Danny's this great dude, right? But we're at the church one time, and the church is in a strip mall. It's one of those churches. And the plate's going around. And I watch as Danny puts like $100-something into the tray. And I intimately know Danny's life. Like I know these people are suffering. These people are not paying bills well. Like they're struggling. And this fucker's putting 10% of his check into the fucking thing. I don't know if it's 10%. I don't know what he did, what the percentage, but he put. And I just thought, dude, what kind of God would want that from you? Why would a God know that you're suffering? You have a 2-year-old and this woman, and you guys live in this shitty apartment, and you're struggling to make ends meet, and why would God want you to give money to some fly-by-night bullshit church with some pastor that has to have silk suits and a Rolex? Like I can't wrap my head around why you would think that way. It just seems like it's so. The tax needs that tax-free donation. Hooking up a fake ass church. All churches are fake. I mean, just think about what the whole narrative is, right? That it's based in guilt. Well, you know, Jesus did die for your sins. You are a sinful motherfucker, especially when you're born. And Jesus died for you. Are you willing to let your kid die for anything? Imagine how much God cares about you for him to let his kid die for you. And you just think like, I mean, it would be something if there was like even a shred of evidence to support any of that shit. But it's so dumb and it's so bad that when the same narrative is presented to you from a different region with different characters, it's like Doki Doki Panic, right? All my nerds will know what I'm talking about, right? If I handed you Doki Doki Panic and you went to play it, you'd be like, this game's okay. But if I hand you Mario 2, you're going to be like, oh shit, this is awesome. Look at how this Mario and Toad, wow, they sure went in a different direction. Blah, 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 blah. That's literally what the difference between Islam and Christianity. And I got to say, you know, good job, because that's a great fucking analogy. That really is a great analogy, because it's so accurate. And you think that, you know, oh, that's stupid, that Doki Doki Panic. No, I'm a Mario 2 guy all the way. Motherfucker, it's the same game. It's the same fucking game. I love this. I love this fucking... I love this shit, man. I think this was a great one. I'm gonna... Bella Margaret Stukin Vandala. Right? So her video is 16,000 likes, 1.4K shares, 1.4K comments, 5,000 shares. Let's see.
It's coming out of their own fucking way. Anytime you follow the money, you follow what's actually here, right? And one of the things I briefly touched on was the Deputy Secretary of Defense in the United States, okay? This man has long been running operations for the United States of America. You think Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense or War? He's a fucking puppet. He's a former Fox News anchor / alcoholic fuckboy who can't even do a pull-up. Brody don't even know shit about military intelligence, let alone operations.
Brody
the man
don't
who's
even know
actually running
shit.
the Department of Defense is the Deputy Secretary of Defense, Stephen Feinberg. Okay, Stephen Feinberg is a Jewish American citizen who has dual citizenship. He owns a massive corporation which is responsible for giving privatized military contracts to he's booked with the United States Department of Defense. Also owns the second largest bank in Israel.
And your ability to articulate with is how we win. Keep up your freeing the world. The U.S. is actually awake. But if the ones on top are then on it or allowing it, what could average citizens do to stop them? Just knowing that it's happening isn't going to help stop them. Just knowing that it's happening isn't going to help stop it. We also have to know it. We also have to know who is doing it. And if this is fun. I like it.
Five-year-old boys.
Uh-huh. So this is how this works, right? I mean, what else do you need to see? Jesus Christ. Here's another. Look at this. So this is Kyle Parks, okay?
coincidence that the rap music industry and that entire music industry was owned by them. If you ask any black people in the 90s and now,
I'm standing in the same spot I'm always. I'm in the suburbs of Detroit, surrounded by cell phone towers within a mile of my house. I'm in a 2-story house that has aluminum siding all around it. So it's one big antenna. What's happening here? Now I have 0 viewers? How about this?
I am in jail. I discovered information that connected Israel to many of the atrocities that happened in recent times.
28,000 likes, 2.4 thousand comments, 3.3 thousand comments or shares.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
Want to know why?
On top of seizing millions of followers, I also did some jail time. Now, they wanted to make sure I didn't have this story anymore. Don't worry, you don't have to arrest me again. I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but what I will say is it's stored in many places. You can criticize Christianity, mock Jesus, mock Muslims, make racial jokes, but
mock Jesus.
There's one country and people not even if everything is fact-based. Friend studies, court hearings. I assume even the people have told me if you go to push.
So wait, huh? Okay, just give me one. No messages have come through. Comment says, funny doesn't look like he's in jail. You can't be jailed twice for the same crime. Isn't that correct? That's if you want to know who controls you, just look at who you aren't allowed to criticize. They can't kill us all, or can they? Oh, you got me, bastard. There's no prompt. I'll say it though. That's so wouldn't using the double VPN, blah, 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 things that didn't happen for 1,000. Alex, update, he isn't in jail. Yeah, well, I'm back. I mean, there are the obvious stupid things, but there's no attack happening. It doesn't happen to him like it happens to me. It's right there. Thank you. I mean, seriously. What are all these things? I just want to check something real quick.
Liar. Said you were done with it.
Shut up, woman. Ian Carroll. 15 hours ago.
And you saw.
What is he hiding? November 16th. So prior to 15 hours ago where he posts this bullshit. The previous post was from November 16th?
No. You are kidding me. Did you see what I see?
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, while we're on air.
So Ian Carroll has all but disappeared. November 16th? Are you kidding me? Deep and dark, maybe. So where the fuck did Ian Carroll go? I look up Ian Carroll, Google machine, news, sort by date. Ian Rappaport dropped the Pete Carroll bomb. No Seahawks fan wanted to hear it. Blah, blah, blah. Ian Carroll, Foreign Legion kitchen, Kirk assassination, and Candace Owens hit plot. This is from LeoRockwell.com. And this is actually from November 30th. it's a post from November 30th that says Ian Carroll, French Legion, connected by Grinny Garner, Blue, caster Ian on Candace Owens and how it relates to the murder of her friend and colleague Charlie Kirk. And the plot comprised of sketchy individuals, Carroll notes, needed to conduct operations with forged documents and in new identity. So again, this is old. Where's Ian Carroll? Two weeks ago, Ian Carroll a month ago. What's Candace doing? She's hiring a con artist. The Times of India. Candace Owens attacks Erica Kirk amid Tupsa Charlie Kirk live stream. Row. Did she approve Candace Owens? This is from December 6th. Candace directly launched an attack on Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, amid the ongoing row with Turning Point USA over the scheduling of a live stream. Owens' comments came on December 5th in the form of an X post, which linked to her podcast episode. TUPSA member Blake Neff on the Charlie Kirk Show had extended a challenge to Owens to be present when their leadership addressed her allegations about Kirk's killing. His comments came after Owens alleged that TUPSA leadership had betrayed their founder Kirk, who was fatally shot when attending an event in Utah September 10th. While Owens had initially accepted the invitation, she later claimed that TUPSA's demand that it be in Phoenix and in person were untenable, as she had her own podcast at the time they planned to have her on the show. Owens also claimed that she'd not been consulted before the time for the live stream was set and noted that it clashed with the time of her own podcast. I mean, that's pretty basic shit, right? Now the conservative... While many online took it to mean Owens was backing out of the live stream, she made it abundantly clear that she was willing to have a virtual meeting to air out the issues. Later, she provided an alternative and said on X, "It has been decided by the public that the best response for this is for my team to live stream your live stream and provide commentary. Since you already picked our regular podcast time, we look forward to providing live responses to your once and for all answers." Now, the conservative podcaster has turned to Erica, after long having pointed the finger at TUPSA when sharing her conspiracy theories in the wake of Kirk's death. I mean, where's the investigation? Where's the official investigation at? As far as conspiracy theories go with Charlie Kirk's shooting, I mean, what is the official narrative even at anymore? Seems like that story's really been pushed to the background. While making claims on her podcast, Owens said she was surprised by Erica Kirk's actions. Erica has become the TUPSA CEO after Kirk's demise, and Owens launched an attack on her on X, asking, "TUPSA says it was Erica Kirk who directed them to host a live stream. Did she approve of the letter Blake read?" She shared a link to the latest episode of her podcast along with this message: "Too many men wore maroon on the and I'm asking the public to help identify them." Erica Kirk has not responded to Owens' statement yet. Meanwhile, Neff, who's been facing some flack about how he went about announcing and setting up the live stream, has issued a clarification. "Of course, it isn't how you book a guest," he noted. "We are not booking a guest. We never said we were. We are delivering a response to several months of escalating harassment and lies. She was given the opportunity to join and declined," the TUPSA member continued. Yeah, but if you did it at the time where you knew she wouldn't give up, like her slot's valuable to her. Why would she, especially, I would be nervous. I wouldn't want to go do something like that. In the age of live streams and insane connectability, I wouldn't trust going to any event like this. I love how they're making it sound like she's afraid, and this is literally what they do with everything. Kash Patel promises FBI won't turn our eye away from claim the French and Israel and one Israeli are trying to kill Candace Owens. Promised that the Bureau won't turn our eye away from Candace Owens' wild claim that French President Emmanuel Macron authorized a hit squad, including one Israeli, during a Friday afternoon appearance on the Megyn Kelly show. 2 days ago, I was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. After determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple, I have deemed the information they gave me to be credible enough to share publicly in the event that something happens. In short, this person claims that the Marcons have executed upon and paid for my assassination. Yes, you read that correctly. More specifically, that the green light was given to a small team in National Gendarmerie Intervention Group. I am told there is one Israeli that is on this assassination squad, and the plans were formalized. Again, this person provided concrete proof that they were well placed within the French government apparatus. Further to this point, this person claims that Charlie Kirk's assassination trained with the French Legion 13th Brigade with multiple state involvement. Journalist Xavier Possard's life is also at risk. This is deadly serious. The head of state of France apparently wants us both dead and has authorized professional units to carry this out. I ask that every person retweet and share this. I do not know who in the American government can be trusted since the source claims our leaders are aware, but I have more specific information which is definitively verifiable, should they care to reach out to me. To the brave official in France who did this because they were so moved by the evil of Charlie's public execution to risk their own life, may God bless you truly. Let it all be revealed. I mean, for Candace to, what would be the need for this? Why would she need to lie? She's as popular as you can get. She makes a gazillion, babillion, fulfillion dollars. There's literally no need for her to do this potential, credibility assassination. So why would she do it? What would be the benefit to her making up some story like this? It's it's the same thing as why you would, if you just want attention, why you wouldn't just push Jesus. I mean, on her show, titular host Megyn Kelly asked Patel about various conspiracy theories OS has published since the months of Kirk's assassination. First of all, if she's saying, look, I have credible evidence, why aren't they coming to her and saying, all right, what do you have? She's saying, I'm not just going to hide and say I have evidence and not provide. If you'd like it, I can show you everything you need to see. Again, it's a familiar position for me because that's literally what we do here. Not much pushback or in-depth questions. Well, this is Megyn Kelly talking to Kash Patel, who is as much of a dumbass piece of shit as there's ever been. But he's so low-ranking, yes man, just, little lapdog. He's not a Hoover type. Do you believe any foreign government had a role in Kirk's assassination? Listen to this long-ass response. At this time, the FBI doesn't have credible information to connect any foreign governments to it. But, as I said, we are continuing to take investigative leads. We're not done. Just because we arrest someone, just like in the pipe bomber case, we don't just say, okay, we're done, on to the next. The investigation... oh, shit. I hope that I don't lose it. I didn't realize it was this low. What's up, Karen? As I always say, you can't blame Israel, Karen, because Israel doesn't exist.
What did she say? What did she tell you?
It's that simple. Israel is not a thing. Israel is an idea. Israel exists in acceptance. They tell you invisible lines, mark Israel, and you go, okay, if you say so. Now, no new news. The investigation investigative team continues to work with the Utah authorities, and they're deriving their own leads and coming back to us and saying, hey, can you look at this piece of information? Can we get a search warrant on this account? What about this individual who is located in XYZ? We're tracking all that down. Isn't that strange how... So why is that one dude, why is he still in prison? Where is the evidence? I mean, he's gonna unalive himself in prison one of these days. That's one of my next predictions, is that what's his name? The Kirk shooter will unalive himself in prison one of these days here soon. Kelly, do you have any credible reason to believe that anyone connected with the Turning Point organization had anything to do with Charlie's death? Patel, 0. How come Megyn Kelly doesn't say, well, there's a lot of really interesting things going around the internet. Lots of videos breaking down things that don't make sense, pointing out, things that go against the narrative that we're being told. How do you just override all that stuff? Because Patel won't say anything, So Kelly says, on the subject, there has been an allegation made by prominent podcaster Candace Owens that she's received a death threat, a credible death threat from the French, that a threat has been made on her life, and that the French, she has been told, also may have had a role in Charlie's assassination. Have you looked into either of those? Do you believe she received a credible death threat from the French, or that the French had something potentially to do with Charlie's death? Patel says, any American that receives a death threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated. So we're not going to turn our eye away from the investigation or any others. If there's anything to do with it, this FBI will respond to it. Okay, but so far, no. We are looking at everything that comes in. We're not going to reject any piece of information. If someone feels their life is being threatened, we are, of course, looking into it. Oh, yeah? Apparently, the FBI looks into any threats that are made against people's lives. Because you've never had any threats made to you in text messages that you could show people, have you?
What? Yeah. They have a slew of them.
What? Owens has peddled a number of far-fetched conspiracy theories in recent years, including that French First Lady Brigitte Marsan was born a man, and that the Israeli government and/or supporters of Israel played a role in Kirk's murder. Israel created Charlie Kirk. Always remember that. If you look at Charlie Kirk's origins and how Charlie Kirk got to be someone that you know who he is, you look at his donor list, You look at who bolstered Turning Point, and then how they just happened to get all the invites that they got, and all of the coverage that they got, and none of the censorship that they didn't get. It's because Israel's been behind Charlie the entire time. And even the stuff where people claim that Charlie was sort of going against Israel, you can pull together a bunch of clips that can be edited in a certain way to make it look like he was saying something. But he wasn't. He wasn't. The only thing that he was sort of questioning was like why Israel hadn't done a more thorough job. But this man is a total piece of shit, monster, asshole. You know, everything wrong with he's the Goyim version of Ben Shapiro. And Ben Shapiro is among the worst people in the world. In the world. Because of his position, because of his standing, because of the platform he has, and the things that he says, and the access that he has to the rest of the system, he's as bad as it gets. Why do Muslims come on here and like proudly express their ignorance? You know, sure, you can hide your condemnation, your judgment, your supremacy bullshit in compliments. Hey, my brother, blah, blah, blah. But if you've noticed, in recent weeks, we've actually had more Muslims come on here, meaning two that I can think of, than we've had in a long time, this being one of them. And they have nothing to say. They just continuously prove the point. Man, Allah really got blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. Allah can eat a whole bag of dicks. Allah is not real. It's fake dumb shit, just like God, just like Muhammad, just like Jesus. They're all fake fairy tale characters designed to, you know, give stupid people something to look at. Here, we're gonna give you fucking superheroes to look at while we over here live in reality. I mean, in reality to a degree. It's so disheartening and upsetting that so many people are religious fanatics. You know, that Islam has such a hold on so many people. When clearly, like, look, if Islam was right and worked and was the truth, why would there be any other thing? Why would anything else exist? Why wouldn't everybody just be Muslim and the world be this really great place where nothing is going wrong? You know? Why? Which Islam is the right one? Which sect has it right? Do you condemn Wahhabi Islam? Or is Wahhabi Islam, and who decides which Islam is the right one? How do you know which one's the right one? These are all like just simple questions that I would have if it was any organization that was trying to recruit or existed or whatever. I would want to know these things about the thing. I don't understand how you would ever identify as something that you don't know anything about. Karen must have gotten kicked out. She's back. We make it make sense, people. Why, if Muslims are correct and they're so proud, why is it so difficult to get them to try to engage in any sort of intelligent discourse? They have the truth, right? And their truth is thousands of people are lacking any sort of, or at least they should be lacking any sort of resources. They believe the given narrative. They're not thinking for themselves. You know, they're not exploring and figuring things out. They're being told something and they're believing it. But there's, at least theoretically, when your thing has supposedly existed forever and it's true, well then you would think there would be lots of evidence. There would be lots of intelligent discourse to be had regarding your thing. You'd think you wouldn't shy away from it. You'd be proud. I am a proud Muslim. I believe this because of this, and this is why. And, you know, if you don't believe this, this is on you because it's so obvious. How does anybody not believe? You know, I'd be trying to make those arguments. And if I was going to subscribe to that belief structure, I would have those questions even more so than being the skeptic. Being the skeptic is one thing. I don't have to be held accountable for those, you know, any sort of atrocities or any sort of dumbasseries that are related to the thing. But you believe it to be true. You identify as said thing. You defend said thing. So you should want it to be true way more than I do. And if there's any sort of inconsistencies or negativities, well before I focus on them, you should be trying to eliminate them. That's literally what I do with this daily thing. Is I try to weed out the inconsistencies and the holes in my narrative. And I'm hoping that anybody can find any holes in what I'm saying and present it to me so then I can address it and figure out whether you're right, I'm right. You know, how do I adjust the narrative so that whatever hole you've discovered can be accounted for and filled? That me wanting to be right, me wanting to, on my own personal journey of wanting to be the best me I can be, that's what it comes down to. But you as a Christian, you as a Muslim, you're presented with a narrative full of holes and you just go, well, I just have faith, I guess. Fuck it. I'm not smart enough to ask questions. Their fervor gets in the way, that religious fervor. The thing is, again, as always, I'm open to it, right? I'm open to being wrong about everything. I'm open to, you know, the idea of what I, you know, if you, I'm open to you presenting me something. If you can present me something that I cannot think my way around, and if I do point out some inconsistencies or holes that I see, you can then fill those with answers. Then I'll admit it. You win, you're right, and I need to change my perspective again. Because I sure as shit didn't come out this way. I'm not just some American that grew up in the society I lived in and you know, like I grew up just like everybody else thinking that it's the Palestinians that are the problem. Don't the Israelis deserve a place of their own? Yeah. I mean, I grew up, I have always questioned things that apparently most of you are too selfish to question. And I say that purposefully because, you know, like, like I bring up my neighbor all the time, but my neighbor went through a psychedelic detox where she was trying to do one of those regression things where you deal with, you use psychedelics and you deal with the emotions and shit that come up. And she said she was terrified and she was screaming and she was crying and she was begging for Jesus to please just give her the hand, pull her through the darkness, show her that there's some sort of light. And Jesus never came. And she was disappointed and she's, her faith was shaken and all this other shit. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry something happened to you. How were you just reconciling that Christians and Muslim children are being starved to death by God's chosen people until they drop bombs on them? How did you just override that? Why does it have to be something that happens to you? And people always say it to me. Oh, something must have happened to you when you were a kid for you to be so opposed to child rape. Like, what? No, you sick fuck. No, I don't have to experience something to hate it. We got a problem. You are not wrong. No, I do that on purpose. You'll notice I don't talk about the latest, greatest conspiracy theories because A, I believe it's a waste of time, but B, I haven't vetted it yet. And at this point, there is nobody that I just, they say it and I just, well, they're, I'm looking at them with their views. They must be correct. Owen says, also implicated some of Kirk's friends at Turning Point and the Charlie Kirk Show in his death, prompting them to challenge Owens to attend an in-person event in which they plan to debunk her claims later this month. Despite initially saying that those she had accused could pick the time and place for the event, she balked after they picked a time and place. Like, again, they picked a time when they knew of all the times, they had to pick the time when she already had prior commitments. White supremacist Nick Fuentes takes credit for Trump's shock attack on Somalis. Somalis. Nick Fuentes is a douche. I hate that he's associated with the same thing I am, but that doesn't mean we're on the same page. That just means what we're talking about is so obvious that different groups of people can see it. Charlie Kirk cares for Candace Owens clip resurfaces as she attacks Erica Kirk over Tupsa. Candace Owens keeps misrepresenting Eminem's words. What? This is Eminem News. The game's headline-grabbing track, the assassination of Candace Owens, isn't even out. Candace Owens has already embraced the title like a badge of honor and used it as an opportunity to mention Eminem. She rewatched Game's TMZ interview on her podcast this week, welcomed the shock factor, and even laughed at his insistence that he fears none of her backlash. To her, the whole rollout is flattering, yet when Eminem mentioned her on the death of Slim Shady, coup de grace, she had a very different reaction. That's because he roasted her. Owen says she hopes the Game song will be cool and not like Eminem crying about me all over the album. TMZ asked her last year about M's diss, and she doubled down, calling him washed up and seeking attention from the black audience. Her language hasn't softened. Like, see, this is where it's like, really? She's real? She's like me, huh? Because I would just be like, man, if Eminem's talking about me, it's all that matters. Like, what the fuck? And the thing is, she's just a fake person. She's fake. The game is the one that is trying to gain some attention by this. The game is the one that's irrelevant and washed up. Like Candace is a typical dumbass Christian. I can't back Candace. I can't back any of these fuckers that are allowed to be presented to me. I do want to know where Ian Carroll is. I do want to know what's going on with that situation. Chubby! Does anybody follow Ian Carroll on Facebook? Because I don't have Facebook on this phone. Let's see. Cancel this podcast. We talk Square Enix marketing changes, Veil Garden clearance, Fuentes. Cancel this podcast. Will it let me see it? Why wouldn't it let me see it without having a Facebook account? That's stupid. Let's see. There is no news. I tried to cancel it. Ian Carroll canceled this. It's not showing me. So this Diamond Lee, that's from a month ago. I don't know, I'd have to have another Facebook page. Or phone with Facebook. But I've noticed that no Ian Carroll shit has come through recently. And Ian Carroll stuff always comes through my page. Always. When I watch videos and scroll up. So one thing that I was noticing, and it doesn't seem to happen as much anymore. Since I pointed it out, really. But it seemed like every time I would watch videos on Facebook and the video would end and I would scroll to the next one, scroll up, you know. Every third video would be a pro-Jewish organization, pro-Israel, this, that, and the other. Like, this was happening every single time, every third or fourth video. Shit. And I just thought that was, you know, as always, I think that shit's weird. Nothing goes unnoticed. You can't just ignore shit because it doesn't fit your narrative of what's possible or normal or that. Well, they don't normally do this. Okay, well, just because they don't normally do it doesn't mean that's not what it is. You know, I would love to be able to talk to any of these guys. Stu Peters, Dan Blazarian, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, Alex Jones, you know, Jake Shields. I'd love to talk to any of these guys about this. Because I just can't seem to... I can't seem to understand. You know, they're so smart. They see through all the other Israeli smokescreens. And yet, especially with Fuentes, he's a Catholic. Nick Fuentes publicly breaks up with faker Tucker Carlson Stay the fuck away from me, he says. Oh, wait. Tucker Carlson? What? Oh, I am so shocked. I am shocked. Tucker Carlson, he's supposed to be a good guy. Didn't you see him drop the 9/11 video? Didn't you see he dropped the 9/11 video and every month he's going to drop a new part? Tucker Carlson, he was one of them, but then he decided not to be one of them, and yet is still in the highest standing, is allowed to have all the views, is interviewed, is brought on as guests, is all these different... Crazy, huh? That Tucker, he must be telling secrets. He must be telling secrets. Let's see what Fuentes has to say. The brief fling, look at how they're just trying to gay it up as much as they can, just to, you know, all these insecure white men that are clearly, like, to me, Fuentes comes across as a closet homosexual. And he has stories to shady shit with young boys. Whether or not it's whatever, it's what it says. If you look up his Wikipedia page, that's what it's going to tell you. So, I don't know where to go, but he calls himself an incel, an involuntary celibate, and he clearly, like, hates women. He clearly is this little bitty guy with this little tiny wiener who is either gay or was rejected by any woman he ever tried to get with, and was probably that weirdo that would, you know, sneak a mixtape into your shit. You know, probably that guy. Didn't know how to be told no and shit. But the way that he speaks about women is just appalling. And to think that he's a Fuentes, yet he's so racist, is just, again, it's interesting. But let's see what it says here. The brief fling between notorious white supremacist, white nationalist Nick Fuentes and former Fox News star Tucker Carlson, which has sparked an internal civil war, just like it was supposed to. How often do you think the friars are fighting each other? Yeah, you have the orchestrated protests, festivals that were happening every Saturday of 2023 prior to October 7th. But they're a well-oiled machine. There are no public breakups like this that happen. And there is no internal civil war between the friars on one side and the Zionists and no, they all work together. And yet, here they go with just a short, brief fling, as they call it. They were able to fracture a huge section of the resistance. An internal civil war within the MAGA movement appears to be over. Oh, it appears to be over. Oh, no. Sorry. The notorious fling between Fuentes and Carlson, which has sparked an internal civil war within the MAGA movement, appears to be over. Gotcha. Stay the fuck away from me. You're weird, dude. Fuentes exclaimed on Thursday night. Less than 2 months after Fuentes sat down for a friendly interview with Carlson, which ignited intense feuds among conservatives and brought an influential right-wing think tank to the brink of collapse after its president defended the ex-Fox host, the Groyper leader, raged that Carlson was deceitful and dangerous. Dun, dun, dun. It also brought relationship between Carlson and infamous Holocaust denier full circle. As before the chummy sit-down and friendly dinner between the pair in October, they were embroiled in contentious back and forth over who was actually a secret CIA operative. Both are. Oh, here we go. Feed gonna start fucking up now? Telling too much truth again? I have 8 viewers and 5 likes. 6 months ago, I had 40,000. Ted, Tucker Carlson, or Cuck Carlson. Tuck the Cuck. This is front page bullshit here. You know, pushing the idea that, well, now there's a civil war. The clash, which raged through the summer, saw Carlson calling Fuentes a weird little gay kid in his basement, while openly wondering if the far-right extremist was a, quote, PSYOP agent meant to discredit real conservatives. Fuentes, meanwhile, countered that it was Carlson who was really a secret federal agent. You know, with all of his fucking ties. During his live stream on Thursday, and notice how they didn't elaborate on everything that Fuentes said, because Fuentes pointed out a lot of weird shit. Fuentes, who had spoken glowingly of Carlson during and shortly after their convivial sit-down, reverted to his disdain for the conservative pundit and even revisited his CIA accusations about Carlson. Your dad's in the CIA. You go, I didn't know that. Oh, really? Just stop. Just stop with the crap. Fuentes exclaimed at one point, you can't even reason with a person like that because it's like talking to a police officer in an interrogation. You just can't win. They're not there to be honest. I don't like it. Very weird. I mean, it's the truth, right? It's Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Remember how briefly Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior came together? The Ultimate Maniacs? Remember? And they were like the most unstoppable tag team in the world until they accidentally bumped into each other at the Royal Rumble and the feud began. And then Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior were the biggest fucking WrestleMania 6 you could imagine. And Ultimate Warrior won. By the way, Linda McMahon is one of Trump's top advisors. Just for gits and shiggles. Right? Throughout his online rant, love that, Fuentes grumbled that Tucker asked me a lot of weird stuff during their lengthy interview, such as about his potential relationships with far-right tech billionaire Peter Thiel and far-right provocateur Charles C. Johnson. If Fuentes has any sort of connection to Peter Thiel, I'm just, come on, that can't be true. I've heard things about this guy since the dinner, Fuentes exclaimed. I want this guy to stay the fuck away from me. I don't know who he is, but I tell you one thing. He's not who he says he is. If anything happens to me, whatever, take that to the bank. Saying he's never met a faker human being in my life, he called Carlson an actor before unleashing a tirade about how weird the former Fox host Prime Star is and how he shouldn't be trusted. I question anybody that can hang out with this guy like that, with a guy like that. It's freaky. He's a handler. He handles people. That's what he does. He's a fucking liar and a handler. He groused. Mocking Carlson over his just asking questions interview style and feigned ignorance, Fuentes proclaimed, I don't trust him, before questioning whether Carlson is a Fed. I'm not going to be part of it. I'm not going to be party to whatever that is. Whatever that CIA bullshit is, I'm not going to be part of it, Fuentes declared. This guy's not who he says he is. Not an ally. Stay the fuck away from me. You're weird, dude. You're weird. You know, I'm weird in the sense that I'm eccentric. I have a weird personality. You're weird because I don't know what you are. You're like a lab-grown human being. At least I'm real. It's relatable because I'm real, flawed, filled with contradictions, certainly, but authentic. The leader of the Groper army concluded, I don't know what to make of you. I don't know what the fuck you are. I don't think anybody knows what you are. And that's that. That's the end of that article. And it's hard not to get behind someone like that. Because he's saying the right things. You know, that's exactly what he should say. But then as soon as fucking... He's a goddamn Catholic. He's a racist. He's a guy who thinks that because his parents had sex here, he deserves a better situation than children who, you know, whose parents didn't have sex here. It's just... It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. White supremacist Nick Fuentes takes credit for Trump's Somali rant. And see, so let's just say I was allowed to get to the position, right? What do you think they would be able to call me? They definitely couldn't call me a white supremacist. If they were dumb enough to call me anti-Semitic, you know, it would just make them look worse. So how does that, you know, how does it work? What would they, does that explain why they don't let me get to any sort of position? Because what narrative would they attack me with? They couldn't call me any sort of nationalist of any kind. They couldn't call me any sort of supremacist of any kind. And anything they did say, I'd accept proudly. Oh, well, you just hate the Jays. You're right, I do. I think they're awful. I think the metzitzia bottom of darkness cult is horrendous. I also think Christianity and Islam are insane too, just not as bad. Very true. Labels just make ignorant people people scared to learn. No, they don't just do that. Labels are weapons. The fact that they refer to Fuentes over and over as a white supremacist, that means any person of color that hears what that guy is saying is going to resist it and be like, dude, you know, like it won't matter what sort of truth. Oh my God. It doesn't matter what sort of truth he ends up saying because he's made himself such a jackass. It's like Tom McDonald, right? Tom McDonald's the same fucking thing. You know, Tom McDonald, again, big old Jesus nut for sure. But he has, like, you don't want your kid to emulate Tom McDonald. Tattoos all over his face and shit, just doing whatever. Your kid comes home one day, I'm going to be a rapper like this guy. And of course, you know, just like all of them, he pushes Jesus, which is why he's allowed to have such a huge following. But the last thing they're going to do is let someone like me, a regular fucking guy, a regular guy with not an ounce of undeserved hatred in his heart. The guy that's like, fuck yeah, gay people are awesome, unifying a huge rift in our community. You know, the fact that guys like Fuentes and all that they, oh my God, that guys like Fuentes, they you know, they purposefully fracture their army. Like it could be twice as big, 3 times as big, if you didn't try to alienate gay people, trans people. Those are people who have experienced oppression their whole life. Those are the people that know how to do it. You know, how best to do that kind of shit. So they have us hating gays, they have us hating trans, they have us, you know, we're hating each other for every little stupid thing. Your skin color is different than mine. You like to fuck different holes than I do. You believe in a different sky daddy than I do. Are you from Ohio? Well, I'm from Michigan, and if we hate Michigan people, or we hate Ohio people, because Michigan versus Ohio State. Football, yay, bread and circus. You know, it's all about making us hate each other. Why do you think the woman's like power movement has happened? Women don't want equality. Women want this other thing that's happening. And that thing makes men fucking hate them for it because it's stupid. You know, the women who think force, you know, rape, like rape is something that we do a lot more than we think we do. It's just not sexual. But when you tell me, like, when you're putting female basketball on TV and you're telling me that, you know, I have to think this is, I can look in the stands and I can see that the stands are empty, that nobody actually likes this shit. And then if you watch it, it's not good. Like, my wife kind of gets mad at me because, you know, she's a female and she wants to stand by her tribe, so to speak. And I'll put women's basketball on, and even she laughs at it. It's unintentionally hilarious. And then as soon as you have that little voice in your head, well, we should get paid the same thing as the men do. We put on just as good a game. It's just as competitive. Having that playing in the background while watching what they do, where every once in a while somebody will drive the lane and make a nice layup, and you're like, oh, well, that was pretty good. These chicks are falling down. They're airballing every third, fourth shot. They're fucking passing to the audience and shit. Like, it's a goddamn joke. And to be forced into this position where I'm supposed to be like, no, that's good. That's legitimate. Yes, they should absolutely get paid. I want to be equal. They should get paid exactly. Even though they don't bring in the money, they should still get paid what the men get paid. It's embarrassing. There's a video that I've seen multiple times on Facebook now where it's these old grandmothers being interviewed. And the guy says, do you think a female should be president? And you know what those women say? No. Do you know why? Their number one reason they give was because 12 times a year, you run the risk of her getting her fucking menses, going off the deep end and dropping the bomb when she shouldn't. That's what some old ass women said. And everybody wants to pretend like you can't say that. You know what? I would agree I couldn't say that if we were allowed to track and see if you were actually somebody that is greatly affected by your periods or not. If your track record shows that you're just the same, nobody ever says, "No, yeah, she's a bitch" or anything like that, or watch out. What? Most of the fucking time, most people, especially women, will take advantage and say, "Yeah, I did that, I said that, I wasn't myself, blah 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 blah." And at the end of the day, they are 100% justified. That's the other thing that never sort of gets said. As much as I believe that they are compromised and not capable of doing their jobs to the fullest standard during that time of month, every single month, I say it from a place of empathy. I say it from a place of I say it with all of the sympathy I could possibly have. Because when I know from a biological standpoint what's happening to them, it sounds horrible. I just can't even imagine trying to pretend like everything is okay, functioning normally, when my hormones are completely unbalanced, when my shit's all swollen and cramping. Every time I sit down, it's like I'm sitting in blood, and that's fucking horrible. You poor women. What an asshole God is. Stupid ass shouldn't have eaten an apple. But the whole thing is just a bunch of crazies. My wife's bringing up cremation. The dog got cremated, blah, blah, blah. Sucks. Another video going around I saw on Facebook was this old man is damaging the caskets. Boom, boom. Okay, bury it now. And he's saying that the reason why he's damaging the casket is so that they can't reuse it. And people are like, "Oh, yeah, that's brilliant. That's great, blah, blah, blah." Hey, how about we get over it? How about we stop polluting our earth by planting people? Why don't we stop doing that shit? Do you understand how ridiculous that is? Find yourself a spot, a beautiful spot, whatever it is. But to be like, it has to be here with a gravestone that one more generation will never go to. I've literally never gone to my grandparents' burial places.
She liked him though.
Maybe I would have if the family was closer, but still, even when the family was close, my grandfather was in the mausoleum. I never went there.
Her and Cal are cool, but
he's not there. Like, what are we talking about? That person that was special died, and they're not here. They're not in the ground somewhere.
3 messages.
The revolution is all encompassing. It's not just individual things. Literally everything about our society, about our way of life, about our reality is a manipulation.
I don't know. Maybe she lost her phone. I have no idea. I haven't heard.
The fact is, there aren't any new cemeteries popping up. And when you break down, we did it one time on here. How many people die each year versus how many funeral homes there are in the United States? Let's see. Let's just see. We'll do the quick math. Funeral homes in the United States. Sorry. How many funeral homes in the United States? There are roughly 19,000 to 24,000 funeral homes in the United States. So I'm going to give it the... How many people die in the United States each year? Oh, that dumb kid. Around 3.1 to 3.3 million people die in the United States each year, with 3,090,562 deaths recorded in 2023, a decrease from nearly 3.3 million in 2022. The leading cause consistently remains heart disease, cancer, and unintentional injuries. Though COVID significantly impacted figures in recent years, now ranking lower but still among the top causes in the CDC. So, listen to this, because of COVID, right? 2023, approximately 3.09 million deaths. 2022, 3.28 million deaths. Leading cause, heart disease, around 680,000. Cancer, around 613,000. Unintentional injuries, accidents, around 222,000. Here, let's see. I want to try to see this huge jump. In COVID, okay, so this is number of deaths and mortality. I don't know when this is supposed to be. I don't want to open PDFs. How many people with deaths per year, 2025? Oh, they fudged the numbers to say that in 2020, it's as high as 3.5 million. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so anyway, 3.5. So we'll just give it the lowest, and we'll say 3 million. 3 million. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Divided by... Oh, no, that's not the right one. Divided by... We'll take the highest number, 24,000. That's 125. 125 each, right? So that would mean, 65 divided by 125 equals 1 every almost 3 days. And so that kind of sounds feasible, right? But then you have to consider the fact that, like, there are some funeral homes in podunk nothing towns that might not do a funeral but once a month, you know. But those funeral homes are still counted. What happens if you take 3 million and you divide it by 19,000? Let's see. And 3, well, we're just going to go 3 million because it's easy. 3 million divided by 19,000 gives us 157. So that's 1 every 2 days. But still, again, that's not counting for, you know, the differences between the inner cities that are, you know, would have multiple funerals per, they're having in inner city deaths. You know, they're dealing with what would be like 50 funerals a week or some shit in certain cases. You know? So there's differences there, but yeah, I guess we could handle one funeral every 2 days. If the funerals were dispersed evenly and whatnot. I guess. Anyway, I'm done. I'm exhausted. You guys have yourselves a great day. Go check out all of the receipts in the description. Lots of good shit there. Greatest film ever made, Hollywoodism. Most important article ever written, Israel Hayom, Bottom of Darkness. And then there's your free download as well. www.the-bilderberg-group.com. When you click download, it'll ask you how much you want to pay. You click 0 and it's free. All we ask is you share it with someone. And if you want to donate, that's cool too. There's all kinds of other things for you to look at. You really, you can prove it to yourself. That's what it's for. And remember, most of it's not mine. It's theirs. It's what they want us to know. So go check out the Havara Agreement. Go check out Team Jorge. Go look those things up. Have yourself a great day. And you pedophiles, well, you kill yourself.